You know, it's all smiles, and I think most of these guys are good friends. But now it's time for the action to start. Handshakes all around, and the day is underway.
Here we go. Day is underway. Let's see the opening choices, what people are going with. Looks like classical chess so far. Oh, Duda knew it. Something spicy. Might be a banko there with the early c5.
As we always do, just move around from game to game. But we do have a London system, a transposition, but this really bishop d6. If we remember yesterday, a game from the women's section, actually, with Pites, it was a line where black castled, white sort of played bishop d3, and black played queen c7. And then white took, played knight e5, and f4. And so that's a line I think you need to be a little bit cautious about. In the meantime, white is more than happy to recapture on f4 with the pawn, because the knight can recapture on d4, and that's a nice structure. But knight to e5, played by Murzin, he's going for something a little bit different. Maybe he's even looking to connect the knights and perhaps just go very aggressive here on the king side, James.
This one's a very fun line. What I hate about this, I lost the game to Helios. I was so mad because he played the only line that, like, you are trying, and he just read me like a book, bro, because I'm so aggressive. So my next move was going to be bishop d3, but he plays c4, which isn't played as much. But when you get this bishop to d3, you have g4, you have h4, you can tuck the bishop. You're the one going for mate. But then he got c4 in, and I was like, yo, come on. Like, why did you do that? Like,
he read you. He knew he was playing the man.
Man, he knew I was about to attack him. So I was like, well, maybe I should go bishop d3, but then that gives the extra option of bishop takes f4. So, you know, it's kind of annoying. You know, you have to pick and choose there. c4 isn't covered a lot either. It's a very rare move.
But he's gone for the more standard knight c6, definitely more popular move. Obviously, this knight, not really a target to capture just yet, but black's kind of building up to maybe take it. Like, for example, queen c7 is already a move you're looking at, and usually what happens in the London, sort of like a big principle of the opening, is as soon as this knight moves to f3, black jumps that knight into e4 and wants to play f6. So the knight on d2 is kind of stopping black from doing that right now, but as soon as you support your own knight, you allow black's knight to jump into e4. reason why I was like, maybe you go for rook d2 was because of king d8. You don't want to let it get to c8, but obviously he's not going to do that. He's in full control here, inverting in his own way. Rook d2.
Just rook d2 and push.
Yep. And this is a trivial win for someone of this level. We may indeed see a resignation here in a move or two, or you may decide to play it out, but have a look at Duda's face, and I think you will be able to tell that he understands the reality.
And then we have a classic. You have a bunch of ways of doing it, but Lucina and like muscle king over, rook check, king e8, rook check.
I wonder, does the chat know the
chat know how to
technique?
build it? Build a bridge, chat, go!
Yeah, rook e4. Rook e5 sometimes works, but e4 is the safe square, and just seeing that move will also convince Duda that, my opponent is well aware of what needs to be done. But, I feel for him. I've been there, the frustration. You're dead lost, but you're just kind of playing moves on autopilot because you just don't know what else to do.
And you play it out until he builds the bridge here.
Yep.
Which is really nice.
Get to see the instructive moments here.
Shout out to Duda for playing it out here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it in real time.
If check again, the king goes to c5, and then the only other check is to go back, and that's why that rook has been brought up to block the checks, and then that pawn will queen on the next turn, no matter what. So he's going to decide to wait there, and now you can just inch that rook even closer and build the bridge in a different way by bringing it to c5, and very likely we'll see the resignation. And yes, we do. Volodar Murzin, 8 points out of 10, and I want to say a share of first place because Alexander Grishuk has won his game against Eric Geisy, which means Murzin and Grishuk